Welcome. When humans go missing, there is often suspicion regarding whether foul play was present. And in a case like Kenny Veach, still unsolved to this day, there are many claims in which people believe someone or something was responsible for Kenny disappearing. But there are many suspects, all except one, which has not been covered or analysed in depth until now. Sharon Pilgrim, aka Kenny's girlfriend. Join me as I share with you the information I have found from research to shed a clearer light on who Kenny's girlfriend truly is, what they've done, and the strange oddness around it all, considering the outcome of Kenny himself. So to begin with, these are the main comments which Sharon posted on Kenny's M Cave hike video. This is when people started gaining suspicion around Kenny's girlfriend for what they said and for what they knew. It seemed like they knew too much and they were very specific in what happened to Kenny. Some people believe that Sharon played a part because she seems very well rehearsed in what she has said. Now, some of the stuff that has been mentioned in the comments is to do with calling off the search, giving up in a way, but still encouraging the odd few hikers to take a GPS. But the real question is, and key suspicion, is why did they themselves not get really involved? Because as they said, they used to hike and go around with Kenny, so why wouldn't they? And another key suspicion, why would they call off searches and give up like that? Normally when someone wants something to stop, it's because they're responsible for it or they don't want others finding out the true reality. Now, both these comments, as they are, may reveal some odd things, but it's the replies which are key, as I will show to you now. So with Sharon's comment, there was also a lot of replies, mainly in support of her and her loss. However, there were the odd few people that were calling her out and very suspicious of Sharon. And one user that did stand out from the 498 replies was by the user Blue Sky. Now, a YouTuber on a previous video commented and said that this user was a friend of Kenny's daughter, I think, something like that. Now, if we have a look, I'm just going to show you their comments and replies. It's going to take too long to read it, okay? Okay, so after looking through Kenny's girlfriend's comment and the responses, I decided to go online, search their name and see what I could find. And from the looks of it, I found Sharon's old social media account on Twitter. It looks like it's them. Now check this out. This is kind of odd. Look at the date they joined. Joined October 2014. The same year Kenny went missing, but just a month before he did. So that's kind of odd in a way. Now, if we look at their activity feed, it starts off normal, but then it starts becoming a little strange. So these are the first few tweets Sharon did, all on the same day, 2015, after Kenny's disappearance. I don't know what the links are to. I tried clicking on one and it came up with a warning message. So I decided to leave it there because I don't trust it. It might not be anything, but you never know. So as you scroll up, in 2016, look at this odd tweet out of nowhere. Eric the hiker, stay safe. Who is Eric the hiker? Their next tweet. Okay, Eric, we are watching for messages and don't see any. You better be safe. What does Sharon mean by we? Who are we? And then if we go on, we've got this tweet by her saying, Eric, it's the end of the second day and no message from you. We are not liking this. You better be safe. Then another tweet, no reply. And then the final one, are you back from your 3-day hike yet? A post on YouTube, but not here. I want to confirm you are back safe and sound. So isn't this odd? Kenny's girlfriend, someone who was with Kenny, went out on hikes, and then when he went missing, she called off searches. She didn't really bother looking for him. She didn't even make reference in her Twitter account because she joined in 2014 and a month before he disappeared, and yet Sharon did not tweet anything about Kenny on this account. But 2 years on, she decided to tweet about Eric the hiker. So what does that say? That is a little bit suspicious. You know, the key questions are, who is Eric the hiker? And why does Sharon only make reference to Eric but not Kenny? Are they the same person? Or is that a different one? I really don't know. It's weird. But let's have a closer look at who Eric is. Right, so after searching for @Eric the hiker, his Twitter account doesn't exist. Most likely it was removed / deleted. Now the question is, why? Who knows? When I ran a Google search of the name of the person, these are the two things that came up. The tragic 3-day disappearance of Eric Fernandez and the disappearance of Eric Pracht. Now we know it's not this one down here because it says 2020. It must be this guy, Eric Fernandez. Because look at the date, 2014, 9th of July. And it also says 3-day disappearance. Exactly what Sharon said in her tweet. So this is most likely who she's talking about. I still find it odd though, because why is she focusing on this person alone? Is it because of past experience with Kenny? So she's more concerned now with people? And the real question is, what kind of relationship does Sharon have with this Eric? Are they friends? Are they together? I really don't know. So that is another odd mystery, is it not? So now it's time to move on to the next chapter. So starting off with one of the websites, this shows what Sharon has done with her career. Now, one thing I want to make very clear is I am not revealing any phone numbers or addresses of locations, just to make that clear, okay? So let's start. Also, what I have done throughout these websites have highlighted the key points and similarities between the websites, okay? So it's clearer to understand. So look, there you go, there's Sharon. Says she's got quite a big background, entrepreneur, field of work with social services, spiritual teaching, skills and training with corporate management, real estate, investing, showing individuals how to open a business and teach people how to build it. Also got a bachelor in science. She also early work career with management in pharmacies and gift stores. Now, as we know, what we've heard from pharmacies, they can be quite corrupt in terms of hiding drugs and cures from people, like Liberia, Sean said, to make as much money as possible and drag it out. Additionally, she also became the director of residential and operations of a 300-bed family homeless shelter. Additionally, she opened Living Well and contracted with Southern Nevada Adult Mental Health Services, teaching life skills and social skills to clients in mental health system. And it was done to do with communication of anger management, daily living and coping skills, diagnosis, coping skills, time management, budgeting, and so on. So let's move on to the next page of this. So continuing on from that article, it also says she was with Living Abundantly with that company. The company incorporates spiritual, emotional, mental, physical, and financial areas. And it's to do with empowering themselves on their personal and spiritual journey. To do with life coaching and their own well-being, basically. A bit more information there. And if we move on to the next one, it also mentions Sharon has a passion working with a range of stuff as well as hiking off trail across the Nevada desert, roaming through ghost towns and abandoned mining towns. It also says she is passionate about the importance of total health and well-being and has incorporated body, mind and spiritual training to help others. Okay, so that was the first website I looked at. Everything I've highlighted is very important, and I'll explain at the end. So moving on to the next article. Okay, so this is just another small website which mentions about Sharon, basically talking about what she's done, about her career, led to creating life skills and training in the field of mental health. So another website which reinforces what she's done. So there's similarities there. So I ended up finding another account of Sharon's, this time on LinkedIn. I believe it to be the same person from the contents below, which I'll show you shortly. You can also see on screen it mentions Living Life Incorporated. Now I'm sure I read that somewhere on one of the previous websites I showed you. So if we go on to the About section, it says she is the founder and CEO of Living Life and Living Well. Now check this out. To do with mental health, social and life skill training. Now that is what was mentioned on the very first website I showed you, which was called Living Abundantly. Now interestingly enough, look what's mentioned as well. Training company, founder of Living Abundantly. So that is another link. Additionally, check this out. Development and spiritual awakening. Certified soul coach. Life skill coach. Personal and spiritual awakening. That as well was mentioned on the first website I showed you. So this is clearly showing this must be the same person. This is Kenny's girlfriend from the looks of it. Okay. So if we move down on LinkedIn, this is their past history. Look at yet another crossover. Mash Village, 300-bed homeless shelter. That's exactly what I read out on the first website, 300-bed homeless shelter. So that's yet something else she did. So basically, she's done a lot. Okay. So moving on. Okay, so this is another website which mentions about Sharon Pilgrim, although a default profile picture. Someone did comment on a previous video, as they were from Las Vegas, saying they know about Sharon and what she does. And as you can see on screen, and from what the comment said, is that Sharon is a physical medicine and rehabilitation specialist working in Las Vegas. So I guess that's somewhat reinforced. However, though, if you look at the review, it says 0 star. No one has reviewed it. So that's not exactly a good sign in a way. Does that mean they're not an active thing in that role, what they're doing? Or has no one used the service? Who knows? It's a little bit odd. As said, I'm not going to show any phone numbers for certain reasons. Okay, so moving on to the next website. Okay, so I really hope you have watched all the way through to understand what I'm about to explain to you. So in conclusion, all the websites I've presented to you have been in relation to Sharon Pilgrim, aka Kenny's girlfriend. And from the information crossing over between the websites and the similarity of details, it further reinforces the reliability and credibility of what Sharon has accomplished in her career. But that's not the main focus. The main focus is the oddness and suspicion around Sharon through these key points I've listed below. These key points are things what she has been a part of or has done. And they link to Kenny Veach's situation at the time. So firstly, Sharon was involved with corporate management, real estate, teaching how to make a business, how to run it, how to make it successful, and manage the finances. This links to Kenny Veach, as Sharon herself in Kenny's video commented saying how Kenny was struggling financially, that he quit his job and he was trying to make inventions and make a business, but it failed. That is true. As you can see, the videos produced by Kenny were linked to that. But the real strange thing is, why did Sharon not step in and help or assist Kenny financially? Sharon seems to be a part of a lot of businesses and knows what she's doing. But why did she not help Kenny? Considering they were close, they were in a relationship, surely you would have thought there would have been some kind of emotional support and actual help. But there wasn't, from the looks of it. And then, second point, if we look here, the director of residential operations, a 300-bed homeless shelter. Sharon was a part of that and was the director. So if Kenny became homeless because he was struggling financially and he would have lost his home eventually, then why did Sharon not offer him accommodation? Because he would have been homeless. Okay. The next key point, training in mental health, and the CEO of Living Well Mental Health Services, helping people through tough times and helping people cope with the mental illnesses. Now, from what Sharon mentioned on YouTube in the comment again, was that Kenny was struggling with his mental health, in that he was suicidal and depressed, and that was the outcome of what happened to him. Now, this is like warning signs. This is going against protocol. This is almost going against what the person stands for and believes in. This makes Sharon very suspicious. Someone that is a part of mental health services and a CEO in mental health well-being just allows their boyfriend just to go off and kill himself. I didn't think that's how mental health ran. I thought mental health was about helping people and stopping people from doing that sort of stuff. But from the looks of it, Sharon seemed to just step back and say, if you're going to kill yourself, go kill yourself. That really isn't right. That does seem very suspicious. And these are the points I wanted to make clear right now. Because these are things Sharon has done and owned, and these are the problems Kenny has encountered. But there is a cross conflict because the two haven't connected. Sharon, from the looks of it, hasn't helped Kenny, even though she is better off from the looks of it. And then the last key point, and this is quite, in a way, shocking. You see, she was one of those spiritual coaches in spiritual teaching and awakening. Do you know why that is important? Because Kenny was into awakening himself from the looks of it. Now, most people wouldn't know now. But if you look back at the very first video I did talking about strange activity on Kenny's channel, in which his playlist got removed, his liked one, if you look inside his playlist, you'll see what I'm talking about. And I have footage, luckily, which I can show to you right now of it. So yeah, as you saw, not only was Sharon involved in spiritual awakening and all that kind of stuff, it looks like Kenny was too. So from summing it all up, Sharon is involved in corporate management and finances, also involved in homelessness, also involved in mental health services and helping people, also involved in spiritual awakening and coaching and social skills. And yet look at Kenny, from what Sharon commented on his channel, saying how it was and how he was, is that he had financial problems, selling the house, quitting the job. He had mental health issues, depressed and suicidal, and that his playlist seemed to be dedicated to awakening. So if you summarise everything I have covered, it basically goes like this. So Sharon has been exposed and accused by people saying she's a fake, she's not a part of being with Kenny, and she's doing it for attention. That's what some people have claimed. Additionally, for some reason, Sharon decides to create an account just a month before Kenny disappears on Twitter, and then 2 years on, suddenly talks about a missing hiker by the name of Eric and is worried for his safety. From the looks of it, turns out Eric died in 2014, I think the 9th of July. So that might be the person she's talking about. But why does she mention Eric but not Kenny, despite the account being created before Kenny disappeared? And then if we push forward further, we've got the different websites of everything and her background of what she's done, what she's involved in. And to summarise it and finish it off, is that Sharon has been linked to Kenny in that she has done stuff and been a part of stuff which Kenny has been experiencing in terms of problems and issues. And yet from the looks of it, Sharon hasn't stepped in to help him or brought in services to intervene before he did anything stupid. This is why it's much deeper than what you think. From researching, it looks as if Sharon, although being successful and doing a lot of stuff, she didn't help Kenny. And even though doing certain things, she seemed to have a direct, clear structure and explanation of what happened to Kenny, what he did, and the family as well. And the way she replies as well to resistance. It all seems very odd how someone can be involved in services which help people, but she doesn't help Kenny. That's just from the looks of it, because look what Kenny did. Because Sharon said, oh, he went off probably to commit suicide. Well, did you just say it just that casually? Why did you not stop him? Why did you not call the services? Why did you not intervene? Because I thought that's what mental health is supposed to do. Not encourage people to go kill themselves. I'm sure that's going against protocol. Right. So I really hope you have watched the whole video and that you have enjoyed it. It was quite difficult to do because of the amount of clips and pictures and analysing and highlighting all the key bits of information and comparing and contrasting it all. It's taken quite a bit of time. Who knows what will happen next? But as I said, I'm going to keep on coming across stuff and I'll keep on covering it. And with the help of viewers as well, it will help speed up the process and as well discover newer stuff. So I think that sums it all up. I really hope you understand what I've mentioned. What I say, I'm not saying it in a joking way or trying to make stuff up. I'm trying to come up with valid reasons and find evidence to support it. And additionally, one thing I'd like to mention again is I did not mention or show any phone numbers or addresses of the actual person. If you do want to, look into it yourself or look at the websites online, go to my description of the video and the links will be available. So I hope you enjoyed it. That's it for now.